morning, guys. Thanks for checking in on my blog. I apologize for not keeping up with it very well this month. If you read a couple blogs previous to Why Hawaii, I believe, I kind of explained a little bit what we were going to be doing in the beginning of October. So in beginning of October, we had to bring Crystal up to Denver, as most of you know, to get a few tests that could hopefully help her figure out what is going on with her nerve issues. So here is the first update. We'll do a little bit update about Crystal and what happened. Excuse me. So we went up to Denver. It was supposed to be a really short 3-day trip. She was supposed to get an EMG and a muscle biopsy. And so we get up there. She gets the EMG, and the doctors talk a little bit and decide to cancel the muscle biopsy. They ask how long we can stay, and of course, we wanted to get answers. We were tired of the back and forth and nobody knowing what was going on, nobody being able to help her or give her any sort of answer to what was going on. So we told them that we could stay for, whatever they needed to get done. And so we were thinking it was still going to be just a 3 or 4 day trip. So they canceled the muscle biopsy and told her they wanted to run a full panel of blood tests. They wanted to do a brain MRI and a spine MRI with and without contrast, and then go from there. And they didn't want to do a muscle biopsy because they didn't want to have to open her up, since she does have some previous issues with MRSA and infection. And since her previous biopsy did not go very well, and since she was really nervous about it, they were like, well, we don't want to open you up if you don't actually have to be opened up. And since she's having mainly nerve problems, they were unsure why the doctor wanted to do a muscle biopsy. So they did all that. They scheduled the other test. She was supposed to go in the next day that she was supposed to go in for the biopsy. Instead of going for the biopsy, she was getting blood work done. And she was supposed to go in for the MRI. However, when we got down to do the MRI, they were pretty much booked up, and they told her they would call her if anything opened up sooner than Monday, but they were going to put her on the schedule for Monday, so that was going to put us an extra 3 days. So we talked it over, decided, okay, let's do it, it's fine, let's just get it done, because people kept telling us, you can just get an MRI done in Montrose or Junction, just come home. But we haven't had that great service in Montrose and Junction. So, plus we weren't sure what was going to happen after. By the sounds of it, they were just going to do the MRIs and then she was just going to go home. Or at first, by the sounds of it, she was going to do the MRI and then possibly talk about setting up a time to do a biopsy, depending on what the MRI showed them. So after a couple days of waiting, when she talked to the doctor, it sounded like she was just going to get the MRI and then go home and then would hear from the doctor in a couple days on what to do next. So we were kind of debating on what to do, if we should just stay and get the MRI or go home and get the MRI. Sorry, it's my sister texting me. So we called my dad, who stayed home in Montrose, and he said, no, just stay, just in case. It's better just to get it done there. You're already there. So it wasn't, a complete wasted trip. So we stayed, and Monday morning, I believe it was Monday morning, she got a phone call from the doctor, and they were telling her that they would like to get some other testing done, and she'd call within the next couple of days. So that night, she went and got the MRIs. Tuesday morning, the doctor called her and told her she wanted to set her up with a muscle biopsy and a nerve biopsy, and possibly another surgery or another test. And so Crystal, of course, was a little scared about it. And, we prayed about it, and she called my dad, and my dad talked to her a while and tried to calm her down. And so, she kind of came to a place where she was at peace about it, still wanting answers. And so she's like, okay, And then a couple minutes later, after I was done getting ready and came out, she was like, the doctor says I might get another test. I hope it's not a spinal tap. And I swear, this poor girl has gone through so much. Literally a couple minutes later, she got the phone call from the doctor saying the final test they would like to run was a spinal tap. And of course, Crystal, was a little upset about that, but, she handled it well. I probably would have freaked out, but she did good. She handled it well, and they wanted her to go in for a pre-op, so it was either Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday afternoon we went in and had kind of like a pre-op. She got another blood test to test and see if she had this rare kind of blood disease, or I don't remember what it's called, but it's to see if she had a rare disease that is similar to sarcoidosis, but it kind of is genetic, and so if she had it, the rest of the family had to be tested for it, sort of thing. So she went in for that. She went in for her pre-op. Wednesday was supposed to be a day of just relaxing, but the surgeon wanted to see Crystal. So we went in around 1 o'clock and spoke to the surgeon. He told her, he kind of went over some things with her, took a look at her brain MRI. He is a neurosurgeon, so he was looking at that, and he noticed can't remember the name, some sort of cyst at the back of her brain. And so he said he did not think it was related to her symptoms. So he wasn't going to worry too much about it. He didn't think it was something that needed to be worried about at that moment. I believe he's going to talk more to her about it in the coming month, or maybe when we see him for a follow-up in December. So yeah, she was a little freaked out about that, but again, she was all right, and she's like, okay, got it. So after that, he told her a little bit about the surgery, what was going to happen, a little bit about the healing process, and things like that. And then Thursday morning, she went in for the tests, and everything went smoothly. No problems, no issues. So that's a huge blessing. So it went quickly, smoothly. We are still waiting for the results. I guess something had happened to one of the people who cuts up the biopsy and sends it to different areas. Something happened with her, and so it kind of delayed. I'm not really sure why, but so it kind of delayed a little bit. They're still kind of waiting for the results. They wanted to test it themselves as well, besides the people who usually do the testing. So they said they would call Crystal as soon as those results were back. So when we get those back, we will update you and let you know how everything went and what the next steps will be. Crystal is doing well after the surgery. She is kind of a slow healer, so it's taking her a little longer to kind of feel 100%, but she is doing well. She had a little scare the other day when we went to the emergency room. Some of you may have saw that on her Facebook. The muscle biopsy, which has been looking just great this whole time. The nerve biopsy was the one that I would have been a little more worried about, but actually the muscle biopsies started kind of like pussing or kind of oohing. Sorry, I know that sounds gross, but so we took her to the emergency room because she does have a little history of staph infection and MRSA. So just to be on the safe side, we went in. When the girl went to look at it, it had dried up. It was looking a little better. It wasn't too red, but she kind of put a little mark around it to see, like if it gets worse, how much it spreads, sort of thing. So she did that. She cleaned it, or she couldn't get a sample of it because it had dried up. So she said by the sounds of it, it could be MRSA. So she put Crystal on a antibiotic for it. Hi, sweetie. She put her on an antibiotic for it, and so that'll be for 7 days. So you could keep her in prayer that everything will go smoothly. Sorry, Milo is playing with my hand. Yeah, if you guys can keep her in prayer and that will heal up quickly, she won't have any more issues. Also, for her lumbar puncture area on her back, it is still kind of sore. Again, since she's kind of a slow healer, she said the doctor told her to just keep an eye on it, make sure it's not, pussing or anything like that. No signs of infection. It is a little itchy, but again, it's kind of still healing. So just pray that continues to heal up well. Her ankle is still healing. It wasn't fully closed up when the doctor took the sterile strips off, so she kind of covered it and put some, I'm guessing Neosporin or something on it in the hospital the other day. So continued prayers that heals up quickly. It is in a really crappy spot, so of course, being in the ankle area, when you walk, it's going to kind of be weird. So if you could pray that heals up quickly. She does return to work on November 3rd. So far, that's the plan anyway. If she's not feeling up to it, she can always call the doctor and ask for an extension. Excuse me. So that's that. Some prayer requests for my family. My parents are struggling financially, as well as Crystal. Crystal hasn't been able to work. She's trying to figure out getting a medical leave from work. They said that there's a possibility they will deny it. And if that's the case, it could mean termination for Crystal, which obviously would not be a good thing, especially with medical bills coming in. So, and of course, she's been out of work since September 30th, I believe. So she has not had an income coming in for the past month, and she's got debt collectors and people calling her, and it's just a very difficult situation to be in. She doesn't have money coming in to pay the bills. I'm not making enough to help her out like I would. My parents don't have the money to help her out. The fact that we were actually in Denver 9 days rather than the 3 really hit them hard. And then we have an issue with our electrical box. It was apparently too small and can no longer handle all the electricity in the house. So we are having to replace that. And that will cost between $1,600 and a little over $2,000. We're not 100% sure the exact cost. The gentleman who's fixing it today and tomorrow will, I guess, get back to them within the next week about it all, or within the next weekend. So keep them in prayer. It's a very stressful time, and they are trying not to stress out, trying to keep a positive outlook and know that God will provide. He's a good daddy and he's got us. Of course, it's hard to keep your eyes focused on God when it seems like everything is, but we know he'll provide somehow. He's been doing it for us all our lives, and so just keep them in prayer that everything will work out. And I believe my mom will be looking for another job because her cleaning business is not doing that great. It's kind of come into a really slow season. Some of the houses she was cleaning were having some issues, so they had to cancel with her. And so yeah, it's a really stressful time, and yeah, they're worried about what they're gonna do in the coming weeks. So just keep them in prayer. We'd greatly appreciate it. Crystal will be having a GoFundMe account set up as well to help cover her medical bills. And so if anyone would be able to help, she's also having a lot of car issues. Her car is just having so many things going on. Thank God he's keeping it running. But with two of us using it, I just got a job at Walmart. So I'm going to attempt to save for either a car before I leave in April, or have savings so that when I get home I can get my own vehicle. Crystal is in the process of filing for disability. We don't really know where it's going right now. She did, of course, get denied, so she appealed, and she's waiting for a court date. So if you guys can keep that in prayer, she'd greatly appreciate it, and just for continued guidance and provision, and just that we'll have peace and just stay strong regardless of the storm, because God's got us. And as far as fundraising and everything goes for the DTS I'm going on in April, so far everything's going relatively well. It's kind of getting into a slow season. We did our final yard sale last weekend. It was supposed to be Thursday through Sunday. However, it rained Thursday and Friday, so we only got Saturday and Sunday. But we were able to raise about $310, so we were very blessed by that. I will add that to my GoFundMe account. Again, I haven't spent much time on the computer, so I will add that today. I also have a gentleman that my parents know who, sorry, pardon me. I also have a gentleman that my parents are friends with who says that he would like to assist in some ways. So prayers for that whatever happens with that will, work out, and we'll get some time to sit down and chat with each other. It would just be another really huge blessing. God is definitely providing for this, and it's just another, big sign that I believe He's blessing this and He wants it to happen, and He's rewarding my hard work and dedication, and seeing me work so hard for it, knowing that it's in my heart and I really want to do it and know that I need to do it. So, yeah, just pray that everything with that will continue to go well. Yeah, and I have orientation for my job tomorrow, and I'm not really sure what my schedule will be like. I got hired on as a temp cashier for now for the holiday season. They said there could be some openings after the holiday season if I want to stick around. So we will just see how that goes. I'll pray about it and see where God leads. Yeah, and I think that's about it. Yeah, so I will try to continue to update as much as I can. Apologies for this really long video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your love and support, and for keeping up with me and my family, and for prayers, and just, it's such a blessing. You guys are such a blessing. And please let me know if there's anything you would like me to pray about. And just send me an email or respond in the comments. I would love to pray for you. So, again, I don't know what my schedule will be, but I will try to keep up with my blogs. Hopefully it'll go well. So thank you all again, and I pray that you all have a fantastic weekend and a great week ahead. And, I can't believe it's almost November. Where's the time going? Anyways, love you all. Have a great week. God bless. Bye.